The Griggs County Commission 2:30 on June 19th, 2020. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I only had one round left to finish cutting on that field.
Oh, you're cutting, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, roll call. John is absent today. Dale?
Here.
Mark is absent. Sean?
Here.
Troy's here. Any additions or corrections to the agenda as presented?
If we could get an abatement added to the agenda, please.
Okay.
Motion to approve the agenda with the addition of abatement.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean, to approve the agenda with the addition of an abatement. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So review the minutes from June 5th.
Mark was absent at the last meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then, where we pay for bills, it says Uranus I.
Okay.
Yes.
There.
Jamie?
I mean, that description that you emailed me, I couldn't get it to open up, so, I'm just having you send me a new one, I'll bring you guys the draft of that contract I have, so. Finish it up on Monday.
Sounds good.
Jamie, do you guys know that John had another heart attack and he had open heart surgery yesterday, or bypass surgery? I don't know if they did open heart.
Is he doing alright?
Well, he called me this morning and he said he's doing okay, but he's not going to get out of the hospital till sometime next week.
Okay. I've not heard that yet.
Yeah, I didn't know who'd know about it. I wouldn't have known if he wouldn't have called.
You know, grab that contract for those bridges. I don't have the descriptions of the bridges in the contract, but I have a draft of a contract. I'll give it to you guys and hey, take a look at it and get the description from Wayne next week.
Page 3, can we change what it says, with the addition of a legal document coming from liability, can we just put hold harmless agreement?
Mm-hmm. What is it called?
Hold harmless.
Perfect.
Move to approve the June 5th meetings with the corrections and dispense with the reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Sean, seconded by Dale, to approve the minutes for the June 5th meeting with corrections and dispense with the reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Took a look at the bills. There's 3 vouchers to add, and they're all from Gilbertson's. One of them is from the archaeological study that they did out there before they took that borrow. One of them is for the actual road raise, and then last week they had to go out there and do some repairing to the project because all that wind that was howling out of the south started washing some of the clay out between the riprap, so they took some smaller material out there, fixed it.
Got an amount.
Oh, the first invoice, this must be for the road raise, is $179,897.75. Oh, that's all 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
That's the 3 invoices, all adding up to one voucher. And then Bin City Bulk is another one for $932.59. And that was road fuel. And Arrowwood Prairie Co-op in Sutton, gas oil fuel, $639.40.
How much was the archaeological study?
$2,500.
That's what it looked like before they,
Patched it.
yeah. That's afterwards.
Okay.
They really sewed it up good.
Yeah, good deal. He said there was a little bit, he called me today, Tom did.
Okay.
So I was doing a little on the north side from the other wind direction.
This is the east section of the north, of the
Oh, okay.
north side.
They're gonna fix that too.
Probably could if you,
Oh, that shooter really pretty
Yeah.
good, didn't it? Huh.
this is that east section. There's that little slough.
This is facing west.
Facing west. I took that this morning.
Oh. Doesn't like 6-foot wave, huh?
Here's what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
After they fixed that. Other side.
Feels like pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's worth it.
Move to approve the bills as presented with the addition of Gilbertson's for $179,897.75, Bin City Bulk $932.59, and Arrowwood for $639.40.
Been moved by Sean to approve the bills presented plus the 3 additional vouchers. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Wayne?
On Tuesday, Wade Thompson from KLJ and I went out and inspected the Decker Bridge, Toll Creek Bridge. And it hasn't moved since last year. So nothing has changed on it. So you'll send that inspection report into the state. Received an email from Jenny Deinsman, North Dakota Association of Counties, and she's also secretary for the county board advisors. But the legislature wanted some more information, request to compile road and bridge projects that you were anticipating to be funded either fully or partially with prairie dog revenue. We received some information from the North Dakota DOT on your 2020-2021 bonded projects, which are included in the attached spreadsheet. We don't have any bonded ones, but we did send them a list of projects earlier. Paul Grimson put together, and it said with this document there are 4 highlighted columns that we need completed for each project. If you have any additional road or bridge projects that are not listed in the spreadsheet where prairie dog funds are planned to be used, please list them. At the bottom of the spreadsheet, we need this information no later than Friday, June 19th. So, took those projects that we had lined up. Now, when I printed it, it ended up in 4 sheets instead of a long 11 by 17. I'm not able to do that, I guess. But there was the 2010, what that is, thin lift overlay, 2010. North Dakota 1 West, there's a chip seal on 2004, 2.5 miles, that's going into Red Willow. North Dakota 32 West, chip seal, it's up on the Netta, or up there, County Road 2. 1 mile west of North Dakota 1 East, chip seal 5 miles. And chip seal on 2026, 2010, and 2004, 22 total miles. Grade raise is listed as the permanent, what's left of the permanent grade raise. Grading on 2004, milling and hazard or hot mix asphalt, 1.5 mil. The box culvert on County Road 2 and the Decker Bridge replacement. So we did sent it in, and I don't know if you want me to list of different costs, but the deal was to show a need for funding. With 800,000, we're not going to be able to do all the projects anyway, but we still apply for it and show them that this is a need that we have, and maybe some way they'll come up with some funding. It sounded like they still want to do some funding of some projects, the legislature does. So
Somebody said they weren't gonna release any prairie dog money in 21.
well, you don't know yet. It's collected until 2021, and like June, end of June or something, I think. Depends upon what happens. So, and I guess, I think Paul sent project updates to Troy, Samantha, and I. County Road 26 gravel overlay. I don't know if you guys got copies of that. Probably not. I think it just come. KLJ has reviewed the final records. Remaining paperwork was received from Tom Brooks and Sons on 3/31/20. Final estimate was signed by Griggs County 4/3/20. Final release was signed on 4/3/20. Final payment has been made. And then KLJ will prepare the Senate Bill 2103-1176 final project certification for your county approval and submittal to North Dakota DOT. VRO CMOC 0020 for Edical 032 Dial Box Culvert northeast of Cooperstown, KLJ, or the House Bill 1176 final project certification for county approval and submittal to the right-of-way paperwork has been updated by the state's attorney's office to match the title memo and signatures that have been obtained from the four owners for Jamie 433. Right-of-way paperwork has been prepared by the county and copies of the documents have been provided to KLJ. And payment needs to be made to landowners if it hasn't been done, which
I think that was done a long time ago.
and so then KLJ forwarded the right-of-way package to Kemp Don with the North Dakota DOT on 6/18/2020 yesterday. And he says the Decker Bridge Alert Code 3 annual update was done, and the report will be submitted to Brian Fuchs, North Dakota DOT. The 2003-061 County Road 3 chip seal, or seal code and trucking, KLJ completed final records. The last document was submitted 3/12/2020. Final invoice for construction and engineering was paid by North Dakota DOT on 3/20/20. KLJ completed the project. The $1,542.54 budget remaining, 6.26% under the CE contract. 19.07 local match remaining invoices for the Western Griggs County by North Dakota DOT. County will need to pay the remaining local match to North Dakota DOT when they send the invoice out at that time. State's Attorney Tennyson has submitted an agreement to purchase and dispose of the Griggs County bridges, but he needs the description, which I tried to send him. I sent them the ad out of that we sent to the paper, but
Yeah, when Jennifer couldn't get it to open, so we'll just get it done on Monday morning.
yeah.
Get it for Troy to sign.
So I think that's it. I think it would be good to maybe put some more rock on some of that creek spots on grade raise. Doesn't take long when it's 50 miles an hour wind to
Yeah, you'll have to monitor that and take care of it.
I think the Gilbertsons were wondering if we wanted to pursue any reimbursement for the emergency grade raise.
Why does it matter to them?
Well, they've got all the paperwork.
We got it.
Yep.
Is there a deadline when we'd have to apply for that? Well, I guess we will.
It is. I haven't talked to them, but
I guess if we do it commits us to a way bigger bill than we can afford. We're not doing
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Not today. There's a meeting over in Glenfield on Monday night. The Foster County Water Board's having a meeting. I'm gonna go over there. One other commissioner could go. If we don't have a quorum, just to listen to what they have for ideas for getting some of that water out of there instead of keep raising these roads. I got a call right at noon today from David Utke to tell me that it was going on. So I think they're gonna have the water board attorney and maybe the engineer at this meeting, so we can kind of listen and see what the scope of the project is and possible funding methodologies. They've got some ideas of where some funding could come from to help the counties and the city with this thing. I think ultimately that's the right answer. you know, the city of McHenry is not gonna get any relief by us raising roads.
No.
So I think we should do some more investigating on that before we commit to anything.
Okay.
That's Monday.
What time is that meeting at Troy?
6 p.m. at the Glenfield Senior Citizens Community Center,
Okay. I think I'll probably go over to it.
which is where? Is it right across the street from the bar? No, that's the
Yeah,
post office.
It's just north of the post office. It's on Main Street.
Oh,
on the
okay.
west side of it.
Okay, well, I'm sure if there's a bunch
Oh,
of cars in
okay.
Glenfield on a Monday night, you're pretty sure you're in the right place.
It's either Indian tacos or a meeting.
Or Becky has a special on
Yeah.
the plate.
She's probably selling firecrackers already.
I don't think we can stay until the 27th.
Oh, okay. Okay, anything else, Wayne?
That's all I got, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
You might want to put 2 notaries on this thing in case,
One for each person.
in case they're not in the same room at the same time.
I can do that.
Because I probably won't be there when he does, when he's there.
I can do that and I'll switch the
Dale got it. You can
Okay.
take
on top
that.
of each other.
Okay,
That's fine.
I think Dale got 2.
You guys have anything else that you want to add to that contract?
Not more than I wanna know.
Pretty simple, other than that, you gotta get it out of there, and if he doesn't, come and talk to us.
Thanks, Wayne.
Have a good weekend, Wayne.
Thanks, you, Wayne.
See you in.
tax equalization, but I think before we recess and go into tax equalization, I think we should talk about this, the sales, not the sales ratio studies done by the supervisor of assessments, but we need to get them a BX schedule, which is the foundation for, well, you guys read the letter. We have 2 bids to do that. Complex, and then there's another one out of Grand Forks. One of them is, what was it, 11,200, and the other one 9,700 or
I
something.
think so.
Yeah. 12 to
12 and 9 or something like that.
Complex, I think, is out of Bismarck. And their total is 12,100. This AE2S is, cost estimate's $9,700. The only thing I saw in here, review, verify. Of course, I don't necessarily speak this language that well, but there's 4 tasks in this one and 5 in the $12,100 one. And the thing that's missing out of this one is the creation of the BX form for uploading to the state. No, I'm not familiar enough with the process to know what that means. Sam, it's just usually it's an Excel spreadsheet that they hand to you and you load it up?
Yeah.
You don't sit and punch in data?
No. No. And in the last years, Davita's had a TAP login, so then he's just uploaded it. If it's like all the other ones, it's just a spreadsheet that, yeah, I just upload into there. And if there's an issue, then it'll give me an error and it'll tell me which cell has got an error and stuff. But yeah, it's...
So, oh, it does say prepare report to be uploaded by county auditor. Okay. So, I think we should hire one of these folks and get this box checked. But if you read that letter from the state, they want that BX, and they want the abstracts and the supplementary abstracts. According to the lady that I talked to from these guys, Nexus, yesterday, she indicated to me that the abstracts and the supplementary abstracts are produced by the GovernSoft software after the updated valuations get put in the system. So I think we can have Kelly Armstrong, is that his name, help somebody do that.
Hornstein.
Bernstein.
Hornstein.
Kelly Armstrong, yeah.
I was like, I like that.
He's in Bismarck.
I guess I'd move we go ahead and hire the least expensive, the 2 contractors and
Nexus for 97.
get the work done that's required.
Second the motion.
Been moved by Dale and second by Sean to hire Nexus to complete the sales or the Form BX to upload to the state. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Hi, Connie.
Hello.
Now we can do our fine. I think we should try see if I suppose I can't talk anyway. So I would entertain a motion to go into recess and reconvene the tax equalization meeting. That's why you're here, I presume, right now.
So move.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean, to go into recess on the commissioners meeting, and is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Is in recess. Call this meeting to order of the Tax Equalization Board of Griggs County. Did you read that letter, Connie, from the commissioner?
Shoot, I forgot to send it to Connie.
It was in the packet, I glanced at it a little bit.
There was kind of a list of infractions, if you want to call it that. And I know some of them didn't happen, like we didn't appoint ourselves tax director as a commission after David left.
No, that was done that last time before you got him.
So we didn't do that this time. So, and that's in there, and I don't know why. And the other thing is, it says that the assessments were not supervised by a qualified assessor, which I don't even know that.
Yeah. We have, I think there's four qualified, is it 4 or 5? I should have brought that list with me. Farah and Tasha Kruger, Marlon Halvin.
Dennis Kubista's daughter, right?
Is Tasha?
Oh, is that who that is?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
who's the lady from Hope?
That's Tasha
Tasha Kruger.
Okay, I think that's Dennis Kubista's daughter.
Oh, really?
I think
Okay.
so.
She's also the water board secretary over there at Steele County.
Okay.
Just as an aside, what's the other one? Jama Curry from Anetta
Okay.
has 3 or 4 townships.
So then my question would be, are all the townships covered?
There were 2 I know of that did not have an assessor. Ball Hill and
Washburn.
Washburn. And their boards made decisions.
Okay.
I suppose we could ask one of those assessors to look over it.
Well, we'd almost, yeah, I mean, we're supposed to make sure that happens. So I wonder if we can do that. Can we approve this and then go do that? And then revisit it later, or can't we do that?
I honestly don't know. Do you
I
know,
would
Jamie?
probably wait to visit with them first before you approve it, because if you have no knowledge of it, you can't really approve it.
Well, we have knowledge of it. The boards took action,
Okay.
but they may not have had a qualified assessor.
Right. You could
Review.
probably approve those that had the qualified assessors.
Okay.
You might be able to just do it contingent on having a qualified assessor take a look at it, and if it's okay, then.
Because I kind of want to keep this ball moving.
Yeah.
The state's waiting on us.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I think that would be appropriate to do it that way. Do it contingent on an approval from an assessor.
Yeah. Well, the other one is the city of Binford. They didn't have an assessor either. So their board just did theirs.
What was the other township? Washburn and
Ball Hill.
Ball.
And then Binford City. Binford City did too.
I thought Marlon did.
He had the year before, but he didn't want to do that, I think.
The other question is,
He did Barkley.
if the board was acting as the equalization director for the township, don't they have 2 years to become qualified? Oh, no, they still would have to be checked by somebody that
Right,
was.
and-
That's right. Nope, that was wrong. So I think we should ask those 2 townships in the city to have their assessments reviewed by a qualified assessor, just so we're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be appropriate, and just give them a list of the qualified assessors and have them get in contact with them.
I know what the problem is. Nobody wants to spend that much money on something that makes so little difference.
Right.
It doesn't amount to a hill of beans, but these guys want to spend money on gravel,
Well, and they don't want to spend,
not assessments.
Yeah,
and they don't want to raise taxes on themselves or their neighbors. I mean, it's so.
and yet the assessors want more money because they have to have more schooling now. And so it's just a,
It's a vicious circle
Yeah.
created by our legislature, but we can't change it.
Yeah, it's a losing situation for the townships because they're gonna have neighbors, friends.
Do
upset
you want
with
to plow
them.
snow, or
yeah.
do you want to hire an assessor? That's the easy one, if you're the township officers. So what do we need to do, Connie?
Well, if you can do a motion, contingent upon the approval of-
Accepting,
yeah. The only one that really needs discussion, because the assessor found it after their city assessment meeting, city equalization meeting, was the city of Cooperstown. That building the county sold to Welton Cochran. They've forgotten to put that on their rolls, give it values, it's been exempt. So there, those values that are recommended were recommended then by FARA. And they would be an added tax, and those would be sent then, there would be a notice of increase sent to, Mr. Cochran then, and he would have the chance to go to the state meeting, which is gonna be a teleconference, and, you know, and I can't see why he'd wanna argue about it, cause he's had it tax-free for a couple of years, so. But, you never know. But that's what will happen if you approve it as,
because he paid too much for it?
I don't know.
Well, I think 2/3 of the price was water and electricity or
Yeah.
something. And it was lower than
But
this.
that was his
But
decision.
that, I mean, no, he's a
Yeah.
big boy. Okay,
So that would probably be that one maybe should have its own motion that you approve adding that value to the books. And I'm just winging it here, so if Jamie has a different opinion, that's fine. And then the rest could be just approved as presented. Contingent upon that.
Well, I make a motion, we accept the city's recommendation for the Cochran property for the land value of $400 and the structure value of $5,400.
been moved by Sean to add this parcel number to the city that was previously not on the tax rolls to Welton Cochran, the land value 400, structure $5,400. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. Do we need to voice vote these?
It's dollars, I suppose.
Yeah.
Dale?
Alright.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Do we do each entity one at a time, Connie? I think so.
I think you've done that in the past. I know
Think
my
so.
minutes have gotten pretty long.
Darn it.
That'll give us the leeway to do the contingent thing on the three,
Yes.
so.
When you'll start, do those two, I'll go make sure those are the only three. 'Cause I'm just going by memory, I don't wanna do that.
Thanks, Connie.
Yep.
Anything in the city of Cooperstown that doesn't look accurate?
approve the city of Cooperstown's assessments as submitted.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean to approve the city of Cooperstown's assessments as presented. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion?
It's actually just two. All Hill did have to be due. There's,
Just didn't accept all of it. That's most of it, but, so it's just Washburn and Binford.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. City of Cooperstown is accepted as recommended. City of Hannaford?
Move to approve the city of Hannaford's assessment is submitted.
Second.
It's been moved by Sean, seconded by Dale to approve the city of Hannaford's assessment as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. City of Binford?
Move to accept the city of Binford's assessment as submitted pending
Review
approval of,
review by
uh,
a qualified
certified
assessor.
assessor.
Been moved by Sean to accept the city of Binford's assessment contingent upon review of a qualified assessor. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Broadview Township.
Move to approve Broadview Townships as submitted.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean to approve Broadview's assessment as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean? Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Swerdrip Township.
Motion to approve Surbrook's assessments as submitted.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean to approve Sverdrup Township assessment as accepted, accept as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Washburn Township.
Motion to approve Washburn Township's assessment on the contingency that they're looked at by a certified assessor.
Second.
Moved by Dale, seconded by Sean to approve Washburn's Township's assessments as submitted, contingent upon review by a certified appraiser, or assessor, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Romness Township.
Can't we group now?
You can, if you guys want to, that's fine.
I think there's no point in doing it.
I'll make a motion, we accept the following.
Can I, sorry, interrupt one more time. Clearfield did not have an assessor either, I'm sorry. I wanna do that one as a separate one and then group them. I'm sorry.
I'll move we accept the following assessments by the following townships: Romness, Lenora, Greenfield, Bald Hill, Cooperstown, Tyrol, Pilot Mountain, Bartley, Helena, Addy, Willow, Dover, Mabel, Kingsley, Bryan, and Rosendahl as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved by Sean, seconded by Dale to accept the assessments as submitted for Romness, Lenora, Greenfield, Ball Hill, Cooperstown, Tyrell, Pilot Mound, Bartley, Helena, Addie, Willow, Dover, Mabel, Kingsley, Bryan, and Rosendahl. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries.
A motion to approve Clearfield's assessments as submitted pending review by certified assessor.
Second.
Been moved by Sean. Dale, seconded by Sean, to approve Clearfield Township's assessments as presented, contingent on a review by a certified assessor. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, or Dale,
Aye.
Sean,
Aye.
Troy, votes aye, motion carries. One thing, Lundy did Washburn's last year, so there probably isn't much, because they didn't change much. I mean, I think they should raise mine, but I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I can go complain.
We might shock them into heart attacks, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, I've mentioned it to
Yeah.
Tom before, but,
Yeah.
you know, those guys are sensitive to that. I don't know. It's apparently causing some grumbling on the street, but I don't know how to change it.
And then is that sales ratio adjustment worksheet in your packet?
It is, but I don't understand it.
Well, I'm not sure I do either, except that column on the right, the ag ones. You know, the value that NDSU says our soil, our acreage should be is 779 and our average is 709. So our percentage should be increased, it says.
Aren't we supposed to be in, what is it, 91% or,
Yeah, I don't.
I thought the 90%.
or 90%?
90%. So, you know, if it's saying 10, if we increase just a little bit, we'd be above the 90.
I think that's what we've been doing, just staying right above there. So that's what this is all about, Egglands?
Well, that portion, you know, the rest of the information is supposed to come off the sales ratio study, I think. and
Oh,
So I didn't have any
Sure.
numbers to put in there.
okay.
And the state will tell us anyway if they think they want us to increase those, so, or
Right.
decrease. But I think you can make that decision about the eggs today, so whatever you.
So 70.03 is the difference.
It's like, you're at like 91% right now. I think normally what Nelson County does, if I remember right, they have a lot of inundated land that they have to deal with.
Yep.
So they usually try to raise it up 91, 92%, I think, somewhere in that area. That way, when that inundated land takes down true and fair value, that way they're still within the 10% compliance.
We're at 91, so I don't think we should make any changes.
I think the state raised it last year because I think that,
Afterwards, yeah, they increased it.
yeah, they increased it because I think we were like 89% or 88% or something like that. That was the one thing that wasn't addressed last year at the equalization meeting. So I think when it went to the state equalization, they raised it, but they raised it just enough to be in compliance.
Now that you say that, yeah,
We
because
got,
that
it got
tax,
missed at the equalization.
that equalization meeting went really, really poorly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that issue was missed, but then it went to the state and talked to Linda about it beforehand, and she said, yeah, they're just gonna raise it to what Griggs County typically does. So I think that's what they did, was raise it up to 90 or 91%.
So that number hasn't changed this year, and yes, you didn't change them?
They changed, they changed their acreage amount per acre number from last year. I don't have that with me. I think it was 768 or something like that. The number in that one.
So it went up like $10.
I thought, I think we missed at the equalization meeting, and then we had another meeting, then we addressed it, we raised it, and then when it went out to the state with the big fiasco, they raised it some more.
Think so?
I think so.
Because I'm trying to figure out why we're still in compliance, because we've always been
Mhm.
kind of on the edge.
Yeah.
And my memories.
But it didn't happen at the equalization meeting, I know that, but I think we did it again, like on our next meeting or whatever, because we'd realized it had been missed. We raised it to the
Yeah,
compliant
you're
level,
right.
but then I think it got raised some
I
more.
think you guys sent a letter out there requesting that it be done
Or is that what it
way.
was?
Yeah, I
Okay, 'cause
don't
we
think we got
addressed
raised.
it at another meeting.
That's
Right.
what it was.
Yeah,
And it had already been sent off, but we had to
Yeah.
request it in writing that
Yeah.
they,
David gave us like some options, and we took the one option, and then we sent them a letter requesting that they do that. And they did whatever they did.
in order to be in compliance, we went from 668 to 779. That's only a buck in value, so it's not gonna really change anything.
were compliant, so I think we just do it.
Can we really finish this meeting until we get those people's numbers, or what?
They voted to do the sales ratio study from this Carla lady.
Oh, okay. I suppose not then, if that, because that would tell you what those commercial and residential should be.
So we should
You could continue the meeting, I suppose, or,
go back into recess,
I suppose, yeah,
and then
when she has the
she
numbers.
said she'd have this to us by the August 1st. No, is it August 1st?
July 10th? August 7th?
Hmm?
July 10th is your next meeting, or August 7th?
No, I mean,
Oh, she's given herself till August 1st in this agreement. That's what I was getting at. okay.
So hopefully we can, I mean, she knows what's going on. And if the state knows that we've hired these people and it's coming, hopefully,
I would guess that as long as we're cooperating with the state and update them of what's going on, they're not gonna make us do something that we're already. I mean, they're not gonna come in and ask for a court order for us to do something that we're already doing.
Yeah.
I would hope not. I mean, we've agreed to do this and we're trying, and I didn't know that some of these townships didn't have qualified assessors. I mean, so we don't know what we don't know. So we can give them what we did today and let them know there's more info coming.
I think a simple email or phone call from you out there.
I've tried calling out there 3 times and I can't find anybody to talk to. But maybe Monday.
Kim.
Huh?
It's in the
Linda's gonna be back Monday. I called out there a couple times today and asked for
Kim.
Kim. No, Kim's gonna be back Monday. I asked for Linda today. Linda was,
Yeah.
she wasn't. She-
Working there anymore.
Huh?
She's not working anymore.
Different Linda.
Oh, a different Linda, okay.
Linda Morse.
Oh, okay.
took Linda Ledbetter, I don't know what Linda's name.
That's not gonna be confusing.
I don't know what, Linda got married again too, so
Yeah,
her
she
name's
did.
not Ledbetter, I don't know, I can't remember what it is, but.
It's Lee. She married Joe Lee's from
Yes,
Rockford.
Rockford, yeah.
Oh, really? So she moved into Rockford?
I think they are splitting their time between Bismarck and Rockford.
Oh, be
I
darned.
think.
Because she's retired from the commissioners. Okay. Anything else, Connie?
No, sir. Thank you, Don.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I move we recess the tax equalization meeting.
It's been moved by Dale that we go into recess with the tax equalization meeting. Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is in, reconvene the Griggs County Commissioner meeting and budget.
How far would you like to go into it?
Well, we're kind of short-handed today, but I suppose how, you give us the,
Usually at this meeting, you guys usually meet with department heads. I didn't know if that's what you guys wanted to do this time, so I was just gonna leave it kind of up in the air. If you guys wanted to, do mine and Jamie's or however, or just go through like some of the general stuff, that's totally up to you.
I can briefly tell you what we did in my office. Everything stayed the same in the state attorney's office, except I think I asked for a 3% increase in salary. That's whatever you guys want to do for that. So.
some years ago, we adopted kind of a policy of going with that COLA with the same as the Social Security does. So I don't think it's that high. It was 1.9 last year, is it 1.6?
That's 1.6 is the number that John sent to me, so.
So I think we should stick with that for everybody. And other than that, what changes are there?
One change that I would like to talk to you guys, and I would like to discuss it just a little bit.
Furniture.
Well, that's for me, yeah. I would like to get some U-shaped desks for myself and Maddie. Right now, I have a table set up in the back, and I'm using that. Maddie's using some carts. So if we could get some U-shaped desks, I think that would be really nice. And then move my desks to Connie's office. All the other offices, they got furniture from the grants when we moved into this building. And Mike's office and Connie's office was the ones that didn't receive new furniture.
Oh, that's not new?
No. These were from Cindy had bought them
Oh,
a few years ago. They're very nice desks, so I had asked Connie, if her office would use them.
so hers are older than yours?
Yep.
I see.
This is a quote that I got from
So you
Mike
feel
Pella.
good giving her your junk since yours is newer?
It's just smaller. It's not. They're very nice desks. They're very nice. And Connie said that yes, she would be more than happy to take them. But that's just
How much is the quote?
3,000.
3? Oh,
It's for 2 U-shaped desks and 2 cabinets.
getting credenza too?
I don't know what that means.
Just like a cabinet behind your desk. Kind of thing.
Mm.
Overhead.
Oh no, I would really like one of those, but no. No. When I cleaned out the office over in the old courthouse after Cindy had left, there was 9 desks in that office. So I got us down to 2, but there's at a lot of the times I have stuff on the tables and different things, so
Okay, well, anything else?
Um,
Oh, the technology budget was like 30 grand.
that went up pretty or a
What?
lot, and that was because of Wes's computers are in that budget. Travis sent me an email about it saying that there is two options, so I put the most expensive, the one that he recommended that we do, in there.
Are these portables or something?
Yes,
For
So-
their cars.
I think so.
They must be able to drag them behind the vehicles based on their cost. They must
I'm
be
guessing
pretty
they're probably
robust.
tough books.
They must be pretty robust if they're.
Yeah, I think right now I think they currently use like those Panasonic tough books that they can be dropped and
It says, I have the sheriff's laptop on this year's budget. There are two options, option A and B, and I have A on there, and it's new versus refurbished ones. The main difference is in the new units comes with a 5-year warranty. If you went with the B option, it would be from 18,000 down to 7,500.
So is that 3 computers, the whole department?
I do believe so.
So they're 6,000 a piece. Well, that's not so surprising. Are they old ones or something? What do they got? They're 2007s or something?
I think they're the are they still on Windows 7? They wouldn't be.
Gosh,
No,
I hope not.
they must be on Windows 10 or
10. I'm not sure.
Is the warranty worth 10 grand for 3 computers?
Could just buy another computer.
Well, maybe so, if they're that costly when they're new, I suppose.
On the software line, added Office 365 license, which is an annual fee. On the county shop one time, it's to upgrade network equipment in county shop. And then the sheriff's laptop is new versus refurbished.
What's going on in the county shop again?
That's that fiber optic or whatever that he's brought it up every budget cycle. You know more about this than I did, but it was like some fiber optic. They're not this. It's working right now, but if it goes down, the telephone company's not going to something. Do you remember having that
Yeah.
giggly?
Yeah, well, we turned it down every year.
Yep, yep. The other thing that I would like to talk to you guys about is offering full family insurance for the employees. The surrounding counties around us they're anywhere from 65% up to 100%. Right now, the county is contributing a single policy towards a family, which equivalates to about 41% of a family that you guys are currently paying right now. We ask that you do up that to a full family. At this time, there would only be 2 employees that would utilize that, but that is subject to change. The social services is receiving it from Nelson County, and with the cost of living increases that we have been getting, it's not helping when these increases go up when it's health insurance. And I'm afraid that within the next few years, one of our employees is going to be paying the county because of insurance. Yeah, it's going up so much more than what she's getting paid. So if we could offer that, I think that would be very beneficial. Last year we did bring this up, and you guys didn't have enough information to make a decision. If you guys don't have enough information, I just ask that, what information you would need to make a decision, and if we could talk about it.
Well, I think we need to know what the implication is and the potential implication. I just,
Right now, the number that's in your budget, that is with the full family, offering the full family to those 2 employees, but
My question for you is, under Obamacare, all of these policies were grandfathered in, and if the county changes to paying for full health, family health
they
insurance,
can up, we can't decrease. So the Griggs County couldn't go to a, only paying 50% of a single policy, then we'd be kicked out of ND PERS and we wouldn't be grandfathered in anymore.
what's a family cost?
What is it, Sanford Blue Cross?
It's Sanford. Maybe PNN.
You're on the States plan?
We are.
I'll tell you what, it's about $1,400 and some dollars.
For a family? What's a single?
Not sure.
733, I want to say.
So how many employees do we have?
Under the, just in the general, we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count the tax director, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 10 full-time, 1 4/5, and 1 that's 1/3.
Plus
One.
8 in the road?
That would be under the road department. Yep. Wayne, Jeff, Jim, Gary, Jet. Wayne, Jeff, Jim, Gary, Brian, Jake, Kenny. Yep, 8. Road. And then one county agent, or the road bookkeeper, and so that would be 1/3. And then 1/3 of the county agent.
Doesn't the county agent go on any issues, benefits?
Her secretary. So Patty's
Oh.
1/3 county agent, 1/3 road, and 1/3.
So about 20 employees by the time you add up all the pieces.
So, potentially
$150,000.
$15,000 a month.
Yeah.
$184,800.
Broke it.
Doesn't like that number.
The road measure passed, so we can keep doing what we were doing with road. Has Wayne turned in I didn't look at it.
Yep, he says he's not finished yet, finalized yet. He'll have to have some communications with you on all of that.
So, what do you guys' wishes? You wanna wait till we have a little more
Yeah.
commissioner power before we start making decisions on budgets?
I think so.
I think so.
Do you want Sam to put all those salary increases to the same thing.
1.6.
Yeah, that's what we determined we were gonna do quite some time ago
Okay.
is increase based on.
Cause some didn't put any increases in, some put more than that. I mean,
You know, it lags, but it eventually catches up with what has happened with inflation.
okay. Oh, shoot. Sales ratio study, we already did that.
Yep, you did that.
Next thing I have is the abatement. I have an abatement here from Addy County, Addy Township. Been approved by the township board. The motion to approve.
So moved.
Been moved, Sean, moved by Sean to approve the Addy Township application for abatement or refund taxes. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Oh, we don't even have to sign it, huh?
Oh,
Or we do? Oh, yeah.
yeah, up at the top. Cool.
DES, Jamie.
After the last meeting, I was driving home and thought, if Derek wasn't gonna be interested in doing DS or wasn't gonna continue the contract, that maybe Jennifer and I would have enough time to at least try to tackle it in the future, and at least the interim, make sure to see if that we can manage to do it. There's EMPG money available. That's that grant that pays half the position. I spoke with Joe Lees about it. He's actually the DES guy for this region. We spoke about it and spoke about working with DES to get things going again. And I think that they'll give us some chance to get up to speed and start getting that money again if we
How
can.
come we haven't been?
I know that
So our contractor didn't do his job?
I don't think that we were getting that money, no. So I guess my proposal to you guys is that in at least the interim, see how it works out, to have Jennifer and I do it, see if we have time to manage it, and see if we can get caught up and get some money and get some of the documentation done. And I know at least a few of the things that are required to be able to qualify for that grant are that there has to be a tabletop exercise, or not a tabletop exercise, I guess an exercise done in the county for the emergency responders. And there's a bunch of documentation that needs to be done. The hazard mitigation plan, and there's other stuff
We
that
have
needs to
that.
be done as well.
Probably
It-
needs an
It
update.
needs to be updated this year, I think. So, I guess my proposal to you guys is let my office handle it in the interim. And see if it works out, and see if we can keep up and try to get that money, and if we can't, we'll come back to you, and if you guys wanna work out a contract with Derek in the future, or find someone else to do it, that's fine with me, but we can try to get stuff rolling in the meantime.
Okay.
I guess one of the things I think that the citizens deserve to have someone within the county that's the emergency manager, and I guess I'm not in the county per se, but I'm here all the time. Because when something hits, I think that things need to get rolling. So it's far and few between probably that we have an emergency where the emergency manager needs to be here or an emergency happens. But I think that it's important to have an emergency manager in the community. And I think the DES also feels that someone should be here and on the ground instead of someplace else. So, I don't know. Like I said, I guess my office would like to try it out in the interim and see if we can do it justice for the citizens. And if not, we'll let you guys know and see what we have to do.
Yeah, I think it's good option though. Because otherwise, nothing's gonna get done.
Right.
If you guys could make it work, that would be really good.
Yeah, I guess it's worth trying. And it's,
So you wanna call Derek? I mean,
Yeah.
cause he submitted his resignation, but he said if you have a replacement before our exit date, we would be more than willing to provide an orientation
okay.
for what that's worth.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I'll do that next week. And if we can't handle it, we're not gonna take the money and not do the job. We'll let you guys know, but I think that it's worth a shot.
Okay.
Break a precedent. The last two directors haven't really done the job, and
Still got.
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's when you get some of the training and get working on it. I helped when we had when the Tulna Dam was breached 3-4 years ago, whatever it was. It was kind of interesting, the stuff that had to be done. So it's kind of a cool gig, and I think it's probably not an easy gig, but it's at least something that's interesting.
do we need a motion to have any?
Probably to accept this resignation letter and to hire Jamie as the DES director. Then we'll have to fight about the budget later.
I move we accept the resignation of Heartland Consulting Group as our DES agent. So am I combining these two events into that motion?
It's up to you.
And hire Jamie Tennyson as the DES director.
Second.
Been moved by Dale and seconded by Sean to accept the resignation of Heartland Consulting Group as our DES coordinator and hire Jamie Tennyson to do that job. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion?
Oh, I probably should just throw something out there. Jennifer and I talked about it, so I think with Jennifer's help, like I said, it's doable to try it. I think the state is willing to help us all get caught up as well. So I think it will give us a chance.
Is
to try to get some
she's not full
reimbursement.
time?
She is. But I think that there's some time in there that she can work on some of the documentation. We've actually, since COVID started, people have actually, not everybody's behaved, but the bars weren't open for some time, so most
What's
of
that
the
got to
stuff,
do with it?
well, most of our stuff comes from bars and from drugs. So actually we probably are going to have about half the amount of cases this year as we have had in the past, I would say, unless things go absolutely wild in the next couple of months. It's just people have actually been behaving for the most part.
Hope they make a habit out of it.
Yeah, it would actually be really nice.
Okay, thank you, sir. NDSU. Mister?
So I talked to this Leslie, she's the one that took over Kim's position, and got a potential candidate to interview. She had 3 dates set up for me to pick from, so I called her back. First one I picked, that one worked. So then the second one was this June 30th, and 2 o'clock. I'm on the slaughter floor, so I couldn't do it then. And I think July 1st was the other potential one, but they seem adamant about doing the 30th, so. So I think they should have, I don't know, probably bend around our schedule.
Well, I think someone should be there. I mean, it's part.
Well, we have to. We're not gonna hire
Yeah.
somebody without participating in the interview process. So I don't know if being later that day was a problem because they wanna quit at 4:30 and be done, or. Unless somebody else can do it, but if you want me to do it, I'll just call her back and tell her that day doesn't work and make something else work.
Yeah, we don't have another meeting before then either, do we?
We do not.
Hmm?
We do not.
Dale, you wanna listen in on a job interview?
Not really.
Did you guys get a copy of the candidate's application?
I was told to keep that private. That's what it said to me.
Like not public or?
Well, it's a public entity. I don't think that if someone were to request, if someone came in and said, hey, I want a list of candidates, that's an open record.
And this one told me.
She says in this email string that not to make it public.
Nelson County just hired a new agent, I think he's a new NDSU grad from Ohio.
What happened to that lady they had up there?
She got sick of dealing with some of the 4-H moms. And
That sounds familiar.
there was a job opening available in Grand Forks County, so it's pretty much non-existent dealing with 4-H, so she took that. Same job, just doesn't have to deal with 4-H. And she lives in Petersburg. She's engaged to a farmer from Petersburg, so she's gonna stay around the area. Just she had 2 or 3 4-H moms that were pretty hard to handle.
And that's not that big of a participation up there either, is it?
No, just like every place, there's a vocal minority, and I think it just phone calls every day to the office got sickening.
Wow.
And she was actually pretty good agent, I thought.
Well, I still think these county programs should be combined to regional. I think it's a crying shame that the organization that's supposed to be teaching our children leadership has such a lack of it.
Well, I don't think
They
I think
have to
the
deliver their services exactly like they did them in 1914. That's pretty crazy.
my opinion of the extension office is that it's a way for them to place 53 ag students from NDSU and to use that as numbers for their programming, that they've got 53 people placed, or that they can place graduates.
I'll call her back then and we'll just try to line something up so I can participate in it then.
You know, I don't wanna commit to something if I got hay to bale or something, that I'm
Well, I
gonna sit
don't
and listen to
either.
an interview.
But I will.
It's only going to be a half an hour.
Oh no, it's like 2 hours.
Hmm?
It's like 2 hours that they got set aside.
I thought she said she assumed it.
2 to 4:30.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
But I think she said later in the email string that she assumed it was gonna take about 30 minutes.
An hour for questions, and there's never that. I mean, yeah, it's way more than it probably would be.
Can't imagine having a 2.5 hour job interview. Maybe I was imagining things.
How many people are interviewing?
One. Oh. I give the discussion on hour of time, but it could be around 30 minutes since we have one candidate. That's after the interview. So. Well, you talk to her, see what you
Good.
come up with. If not, let me know. I'll twist somebody's arm.
I think Samantha's volunteering.
No, gal, no.
No, even if they moved it back an hour, I could more than likely make that work, but.
Right. Election bills, are these vouchers in here? Or
Those,
we're
those,
gonna send in bills out.
yep, this is what we usually do. We usually do $200, for doing the cities.
Oh, just postage.
Huh? No, this is for their, since the city races were on our ballots and we conducted the election, this is just their way of paying us to do
I
their
see.
election.
So that's a nothing. We
Yes.
don't need to.
You
do
know,
anything.
just to let you guys know that I'll be
Okay.
sending those out.
Thanks. Old courthouse, new courthouse?
The only thing I can think of is the doors did get open to the courthouse, on June 10th. The doors were, doors were unlocked and then the sign came down, so we are open to the public now.
Are most other courthouses?
I think a lot of them open the 15th. Other ones that didn't open the 15th, they are thinking to open up on the 1st.
I think everyone's in the process because I think the court system is starting jury trials again the 1st. So I think all the courthouses have to be open.
Is there anybody getting sick in North Dakota?
Down to it's like 20 yesterday and 30 yesterday, or 30 today, I think, 33 or something today. There's still
That's
cases.
usually what it is in Cass County alone.
Cass has actually went down on their cases now.
Instead of 60, 70 a day there.
Yeah, it's been 20s and 30s the last few days.
Which means nothing, but.
Yeah, 33 today and only 13 in Cass County. So I think we're trending downward now.
We had court for the first time in person in Nelson County today, and everybody had spit shields in front of us, and we were masked up, and it was kind of a weird feeling.
Sneeze guards.
What do I call them?
Spit.
Spit guards.
Sneeze guards.
Sneeze.
Same thing.
Depends on who's wearing it.
No, that's what that plexiglass
Oh,
is
yeah,
called.
It's dog breath and it's a spit
The
shield.
social services did purchase one for their window and theirs arrived today, so Brian will be putting that on this weekend, I think.
Well, one of the things with the new courthouse for COVID, and I brought this up to Kelly too, there's the Supreme Court has given the Association of Counties information about applying for the courtroom grants again to set everything up to be COVID proof for the courtrooms. And I don't know what that means, if it's splash guards or sneeze guards or whatever, or setting stuff up differently, but there's money available and they're encouraging everybody to apply for the grant because it sounds like there's a bunch of money available. So I don't know what that would entail for our courthouse. Courtroom, it's pretty big.
I know Kelly had talked to Brian, and the only thing that she was thinking is she needs a sneeze guard in between the recorder and the witness stand, just a 2x2. But she was gonna, I don't know what she decided to do with that. So,
But it sounds like everything needed for safety in there is going to be covered by, if it's courtroom improvement grant or that emergency money that's available. I think they just okayed like another $400 million worth of emergency money for the state yesterday.
Jesus, we're crazy.
It's like $1 billion in
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Yeah.
For nothing. This thing was a nothing. Unreal. How can all these bureaucrats talk themselves into believing this was something to talk about?
I don't know. They scared everybody.
I know, but I was over that in 3 weeks. Probably 2.
I think right away you were over that.
I mean, nothing they said was going to happen happened. Absolutely nothing.
I think I had it back in there.
Well, that's a lot. We'll see. I was definitely sick in January.
So was Kelly, and Kelly went and got the antibody test, and it came back negative. She could have.
I know, but I
sworn.
think all those tests are goof too.
Yeah.
They tested 20 people in Mayville, and they all tested positive, and none of them got sick. And then they tested them again, and I think they were all negative.
10 of them, I think. I think half of them were positive again afterwards.
Cheapers,
Did the stick turn blue?
right? Future business.
Move we adjourn.
Moved by Sean, seconded by Dale, that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. 4:05 p.m.
For Rod, that's